High in the Himalayas, the air was thin and cold. The year was 1999. A shadow fell upon the remote villages of Kargil. India and Pakistan were at war again. The once peaceful mountains echoed with the deafening roar of artillery. Fear cast a long shadow over the valley. The village of Targum was a cluster of stone houses nestled on a mountain slope. Life had always been simple there. The villagers lived in harmony with nature. They tended their sheep and cultivated their small patches of land. The war shattered their peaceful existence. The distant booming of shells was now a constant reminder of the conflict. Fear gnawed at the hearts of the villagers. The once vibrant laughter of children was silenced. In its place was a heavy silence, thick with uncertainty and dread. The conflict had cast a pall over Targum, turning their familiar world into a place of fear and uncertainty. The villagers, once accustomed to the rhythm of nature, now lived under the shadow of war. 11-year-old Arjun was a bright and curious boy. His eyes sparkled with the light of 1,000 questions, always eager to learn and explore the world around him. He loved to listen to his grandfather's stories, which were filled with wisdom and wonder. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Arjun would sit by his grandfather's side, hanging on to every word. The stories were about brave heroes and mythical creatures, tales that transported Arjun to far-off lands and times. He would close his eyes and imagine himself as one of those heroes embarking on grand adventures. Arjun dreamed of becoming a teacher one day. He often pictured himself standing in front of a classroom, sharing the same stories and knowledge that had so deeply inspired him. He wanted to share his love of learning with others, to ignite the same spark of curiosity in them that his grandfather had kindled in him. Teaching, he believed, was his true calling. But then, war had a profound impact on Arjun's life. The peaceful village he had known was suddenly thrust into chaos and uncertainty. Gone were the carefree days of playing with his friends in the shadow of the mountains. The laughter and joy that once filled the air were replaced by the sounds of conflict. The familiar routine of attending the village school was disrupted. The school, once a place of learning and dreams, now stood empty and silent. The schoolhouse stood deserted, a silent reminder of the conflict that had engulfed their lives. Its empty halls echoed with the memories of happier times.
My father, a shepherd, was forced to leave our small farm. The war had taken away our livelihood, and he had no choice but to seek work elsewhere. He went to join the other villagers in assisting the Indian soldiers. It was a dangerous task, but he did it with a sense of duty and hope for a better future.
I would often look towards the mountains, worry etched on my face. The mountains, once a symbol of stability and peace, now seemed distant and foreboding. I prayed for their safety every night. My prayers were filled with hope and fear, a child's desperate plea for the return of normalcy.
The war had taken away the normalcy of childhood. The simple joys of playing, learning and growing were replaced by the harsh realities of conflict. It replaced it with uncertainty and fear. The children, once carefree and full of dreams, now lived in a world where every day was a struggle for survival. Still, amidst the turmoil, Arjun clung to hope. He believed that one day the war would end and life would return to the way it was. He yearned for the day when he could return to school and continue his education. The dream of becoming a teacher was his beacon of hope, guiding him through the darkest times. Despite the fear and uncertainty that surrounded him, Arjun refused to let the flame of learning die. He would spend hours poring over his old textbooks. The books were tattered and worn. He treasured them like precious jewels.
I would often sit by the window, gazing at the distant peaks. The mountains stood tall and proud, seemingly untouched by the conflict below. Their resilience in the face of adversity fueled my own determination. I dreamt of a day when peace would return to our valley. I imagined the reopening of my school. I saw myself sitting in a classroom, surrounded by my friends. I saw the bright, eager faces of children, eager to learn. The image filled me with a glimmer of hope.
Arjun's love for learning could not be extinguished by the fires of war. He clung to his books, finding solace and strength in their pages. His dream of becoming a teacher became his beacon of hope, guiding him through the darkness. One day, a military truck rumbled into their village. The sound of its engine echoed through the narrow streets, drawing the attention of every villager. They gathered around, curious and hopeful, as the truck came to a halt in the village square. It brought supplies for the villagers and the soldiers stationed nearby. The villagers watched in awe as crates of food, medicine, and other essentials were unloaded. For many, it was the first sign of relief they had seen in weeks. A young army officer named Lieutenant Vikram emerged from the vehicle. His presence commanded respect, yet his demeanor was gentle and approachable. He had a kind face and a warm smile. His eyes, though sharp and alert, held a softness that immediately put the villagers at ease.
"Who is that man, Mama?" The boy's voice was filled with curiosity and a hint of admiration. "He looks different from the other soldiers." There was something about Lieutenant Vikram that set him apart, something that even a child could sense.
Lieutenant Vikram was a man of compassion. He didn't just see the villagers as people in need, he saw them as individuals with stories, dreams, and hopes. He was moved by the plight of the villagers, especially the children. Their innocent faces, marked by the harsh realities of war, tugged at his heartstrings. During his interactions with the villagers, he noticed Arjun. The boy stood out not just because of his tattered clothes, but because of the light in his eyes. The boy's thirst for knowledge shone brightly despite the bleak circumstances. Arjun clutched a worn-out book, his eyes scanning the pages with a hunger for learning that was palpable.
"What's your name, young man?" Lieutenant Vikram's voice was gentle, yet filled with genuine interest.
"My name is Arjun, sir." The boy's voice was steady, his eyes meeting the officers with a mix of respect and curiosity.
Touched by Arjun's story and the plight of the village children, Lieutenant Vikram decided to take matters into his own hands. He knew that while he couldn't change the world, he could make a difference in this small corner of it. He recognized the transformative power of education, even in the midst of war. He believed that knowledge was a beacon of hope, a way to empower the next generation. He envisioned a spark of hope, a return to normalcy for the children. He saw in them the potential to rise above their circumstances, to dream of a better future.
"We need to do something for these kids." Lieutenant Vikram's voice was firm, his resolve unshakable. "They deserve a chance to learn, to dream, even in times like these." His words resonated with the villagers, filling them with a renewed sense of hope.
The arrival of Lieutenant Vikram brought a glimmer of hope to the war-stricken village. His presence was a reminder that even in the darkest times, there are those who care, those who are willing to make a difference. His compassion, particularly for the children, hinted at a brighter future. He saw in them the seeds of change, the promise of a better tomorrow. His decision to set up a makeshift school demonstrated the power of education to provide solace and hope. Even in the darkest of times, it was a small step, but it was a step towards a brighter future. A future where the children of the village could dream, learn, and grow despite the shadows of war. Lieutenant Vikram found an empty storage shed. It was a dilapidated structure, long abandoned and forgotten, but to Vikram it represented a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. With the help of the villagers, he transformed it into a makeshift school. The community came together, driven by a shared vision of providing education to their children, despite the ongoing conflict. He used wooden planks as benches and old army blankets as curtains. These simple materials, repurposed with care, turned the shed into a functional classroom. The villagers pooled their resources. They brought whatever they could spare, from old books to pieces of chalk, each contribution a testament to their commitment to education. They brought whatever stationery they could salvage to support this endeavor. The sight of villagers carrying bundles of paper, pencils, and other supplies was a heartwarming display of unity and determination.
"This will be our classroom. It might not look like much, but it's a start. The walls may be bare, but they will soon be filled with the sounds of learning and laughter."
The news of the makeshift school spread like wildfire through the village. Parents and children alike were eager to see this new beacon of hope. Children, their faces etched with a mix of curiosity and apprehension, emerged from their homes. They had heard stories of schools, but had never seen one in their war-torn village. Their eyes sparkled with a newfound hope. For the first time in a long while, they had something to look forward to, a place where they could dream of a better future. The classroom, though bare and simple, became a sanctuary. It was a place where the children could escape the harsh realities of their world, even if just for a few hours each day.
"I can't believe it! A school! Finally a place to learn again." The excitement in the children's voices was palpable, their joy infectious.
Arjun was among the first to arrive at the makeshift school. He had been dreaming of this moment, and now it was finally here. His heart brimmed with gratitude and excitement. He couldn't wait to start learning, to open his mind to new possibilities. He looked at the lieutenant with admiration and respect. To Arjun, Lieutenant Vikram was not just a soldier, he was a hero who had brought hope to their village.
Thank you, Lieutenant Vikram. This means everything to us. The children's gratitude was heartfelt, their words sincere.
The makeshift school, a beacon of hope in the midst of conflict, symbolized the resilience of the human spirit. It stood as a testament to the power of community and the importance of education. The establishment of the makeshift school breathed life back into the village. It was a place where children could be children, where they could learn and grow despite the challenges around them. This act of defiance against the disruption of war brought a sense of normalcy and hope to the children. It was a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light. The school became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the indomitable spirit of learning that even war could not extinguish. It was a place where dreams could be nurtured and futures could be built.